Hey guys, Alex Dykes here. I'm actually about time. Finally got asked to host the Titan team training call. Special guest here today is going to be on Peyton Berlick, just showing how to control your business a little bit more. But I am going to let Evan take control for a few minutes here. He's going to go off families helped for so far in week 2.
Yeah, I appreciate you running this, Dykes. I'm looking forward to learning from both of you guys. Just going through the top 10 issue paid through 2 weeks of the month. And I guess I just realized, Ty, are we okay to go through issue paid numbers on this call?
Is that Evan?
Am I okay to go through issue paid for 2 weeks on this call or no?
No, just do the application count.
Alex Dykes, 6 families helped. Mason Longley, 13 families helped. Summer B, 14 families helped. Austin B, 16 families helped. Evelyn Jones, 17 families helped. Evan M, 19 families helped. Kiefer and her brother Kaylor, 21, 23 families helped. And then number 1 agent for the first 2 weeks of the month, Gabe Andrews, 26 families helped. And then I just really quickly wanted to go through, a lot of you have seen, but we're doing the March Madness. We are down to the Elite 8. We got 8 agents left. The winner of this tournament gets a $5,000 cash bonus. If you missed out on this opportunity, make sure you just stay tuned for the future text blasts and emails that go out in regards to getting involved in some of this stuff. But we got an Elite 8, Kiefer up against Montana this week, Summer against Evelyn, Evan against Kendra, and Gabe against Mason. So we got 3 full weeks left. Winner gets $5,000. And that's what I'm going to leave that with. Back to my dudes, Alex and Peyton. Looking forward to learning from you guys. Take it away.
I appreciate it, Evan. So yeah, it just something stood out to me. Just Peyton's been an absolute savage here for the past. What have you been running for, like 5-6 months now?
Like 4.
Okay, so 4 months. But yeah, we're just he's doing something that's pretty special here. I believe Austin Takla also did it a few months ago, but we'll hit on that a little bit after. But I do want to go more into just how he's maintaining like a level mindset during dial day, and how he's getting these. I don't know if you guys are keeping in touch with the Discord. Peyton submits some very large premiums for the families he's protecting. Obviously, we cannot go over that, but just know that yes, he does very well with his high premiums and building value in the home. So yeah, Peyton, we'll start off first because I know you're dialing from home today. And you got a travel trip down to North Carolina here shortly. But just when you're dialing and stuff, what are some of those things that you try to maintain a level head? Because I believe right now you are going through, what are you dialing, like 1 or like 1, 2,
I just
3
got like a
month
whole bunch of leads that like I've never got a hold of. That I just kind of have sitting around. I mean, like a whole bunch. I didn't realize how many I had until I really went through and looked.
Here,
So
show
I'm
the
literally
stat.
just going through and like dialing all of these, texting all of them, just booking up appointments off of leads that have never been contacted by me.
Yeah. Do you have the stack with you right to your side?
Yeah, I do actually.
show that. These are that's how many leads you got. I mean, those are what, $1.50, $3, $5 leads that you're going through.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're just like the 1 month, 2 month, 3 month mortgage ones in the CRM.
Yeah, so I mean,
for the county I live in,
probably like $1,500, and you've got probably easily a month worth of running you could do with those.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how are you doing on those when you call them? Because those are a little bit older, which is good for newer agents who are starting, might not have as much cash or capital to put into the business to start. Yeah, can you talk about how those leads and how you go over those with dialing?
Yeah, I think like the first thing being with dial days, the worst answer you can get on the phone is no. Like even like that no can be said multiple ways. I mean, you can get cussed out, hung up on, or just like a straight up no. It could be a sweet old lady that says no. But the worst answer you can get is no. The only answer you're going to get is yes. And if you get a maybe, I just kind of count that as a no in my book. Mindset wise, I think like The first dial of the day is always just the hardest, no matter what. Even when I still pick up the phone, like my first dial of the day, I'm a little jittery, or phone script might not be there 100%. I might kind of goof up a little bit. But after that, I'm just good to go. And then like when it comes to these leads and dialing fresh leads, I do the exact same thing. Once in a while, I will like throw in there, we received that form for your mortgage protection that you sent out and mailed back into us. It might have been a couple months ago. We're just really behind here in the office. Do you remember filling that one out? But 99% of the time when I'm dialing them, I just treat it like it's a fresh lead. People who fill them out are people who fill out these forms when they come no matter what. They're not going to remember if they filled it out 3 months ago. They might have just filled out a new one last week or a couple of days ago. I just treat it like it's a fresh lead. If they say they don't remember, I just run through it real fast and just kind of ignore that they don't remember. I just still run through all the information, your name, such, your date of birth, address, age, mortgage amount, just that kind of stuff. Same thing for like final expense mail or CRM leads or anything. If they're a little bit old, I just treat them like fresh leads.
And so with those mail, say if they're just, it is a 3 months ago. I mean, a lot of people are filling out forms and stuff. What do you do so that when they're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about? Like I didn't do that. How do you overcome that?
If they say they didn't do it or something, I'll say, I actually have your handwriting right in front of me here. It might've been your spouse that filled it out. If it's like super nice handwriting, I say, it kind of looks like your wife's handwriting. And I'll laugh about it a little bit. But if they really don't remember and they have no idea what I'm talking about, I just literally send them a picture. I just say, hold on, is this a cell phone? Can I text you on this real fast? I'll take a picture and send it to their number while I'm on the phone with them. Say, okay, did you get that? And then they'll look at it like, oh yeah, I remember filling that one out. And the rare occasion they don't, I just continue running through my phone script. I say, well, that's no problem. My job's just super simple here. I'm just a local underwriter. And, just keep going on with it and just get in the door, book that appointment, no matter what.
Yeah. And then how, obviously we all get it. I've even had a few today, after you just get the cussed out, I didn't, whatever happens, they're just like, no, stop calling me. What do you do after that with that, either that person or just mindset in general?
So, I just don't really let it affect me. I know that there's going to be, I'm going to get cussed out. I'm going to get yelled at over the phone. I'm going to get no's and things like that. But you got to get used to getting told no in order to get better at this. The more you get told no, the more times you fail. The better you're going to be at it no matter what. If that means you're getting cussed out and stuff over the phone, usually I will just throw that lead into a separate stack on the side and call them at a later date. Maybe when they're in a better mood, maybe they had a bad day or something. I don't really give up on it, on that lead or that person until usually I dial it at least one other dial day, if not more, if I can't get a hold of them. But, sometimes people are just in bad moods over the phone when you're talking to them. They just don't want to talk. So, you could shoot them a text with a picture of the lead and say, I'm just the local underwriter here trying to get in touch with you. Be a little bit nicer about it maybe, but don't let people push you around at the same time. If someone's cussing you out, they really don't want your help. They really don't care. I just don't deal with it. There's better leads in the stack. There's better leads in the CRM. Just go find a different one.
Yeah. Just going to say, just keep dialing the phones and you'll get the people who are just begging for you to come by. Exactly. And just to help out with those older leads that people are getting in touch with, there are a lot of individuals I'm sure you're coming across, Peyton, hey, it looks like no one's gotten out to you. Yeah, no one has. It's people get these fresh leads in, just like myself. I'll be bombarded with leads and I might lose it. Something might happen. And unfortunately that's on me that I didn't get out to them. But you're dialing these people and they might not have been like, yeah, I've been waiting for someone to call you. It's no different than, getting a fresh lead or anything like that.
And I get a lot of those. I bet you 20% of the aged ones that I call that are 1, 2, 3 months old are like, oh yeah, we sent it in a while ago. No one's contacted us. No one's texted us. No one's called us to come out and see us. No one's gone over it. And that's it's gold. That's why I think these leads are amazing when they're in there.
Right. And it's $3 for those leads. Just transitioning a little bit, just into your in-home. So obviously we can't really speak on it right now. But going in, how are you building the value for what needs to be in place? Because I know the biggest objection is, well, we're on a limited income.
Yeah.
How are you kind of getting around that? Whether it's the why or just the product itself?
The biggest thing that I do is I address their age up front, like in comparison to whether it be their mortgage amount or how much coverage they're looking for final expenses, that kind of thing. If someone's 70 years old and they're looking for $300,000 to cover their entire mortgage, that's going to be ridiculously expensive. you need to address that upfront and tell them, okay, because of your age, these prices are going to be a little bit higher than what you might expect. Okay, I don't want you to look at these numbers as a giant bill or anything like that. I want you to look at this as an investment in yourself and your family in the event something happens, that mortgage is covered. Now, as to building value, you just got to dig into their why super, super deep. Push hard, like get as deep as you can with just finding out why they actually need it. I know a lot of people say like, we're just kind of looking in. We just wanted to look into something. We don't know if we really need it. Everyone, they need it. They do need it. You just got to find out why they need it, even if they don't know. Like I'll sit with people that, they got $300,000 sitting in a 401k or something, and they have other investments. They have another life insurance policy, but they have a $400,000 mortgage. Okay. And they only have, 500 grand total that's going to come to their family in the event something happens. That's going to cover bills and stuff. I mean, like if they're the primary breadwinner, that's going to cover bills, whether that be car payments, food, groceries, kids, school, things like that. But that mortgage is still just sitting there, and they can use a chunk of those investments to pay them off. And then in that situation, you can kind of dig into, okay, you have 100,000 of this mortgage covered. Let's look at covering 200,000. That way the difference is covered. But I mean, digging into their why is the biggest thing. I like to bring up, if their why is their family. Or I just talked to a gentleman the other day he has a stepdaughter that he just wants to make sure is taken care of in the event something happens to him. And I dug into that, and he wanted to cover his whole entire mortgage. And then he wanted to make sure there was a little bit extra in case something happened, because apparently it was a bad situation with the family. He just wanted to make sure that she would be taken care of. So I just dig into their why as deep as I can. And then if I'm sitting there with a husband and wife, I will definitely even if the appointments for the husband, I'm talking to him, getting him covered, I will address the wife multiple times throughout that appointment. I'll look at her and say, okay, now don't mean to be rude here. And I know this is weird to think about, but what happens if Alex doesn't come home tomorrow? What happens if he passes away tomorrow? How does that look for you and the kids, or, you and your siblings? How are bills going to be paid? How is this mortgage payment going to be made? Are you going to be able to stay in this home? You guys are going to have to relocate. How does that look for you guys? And then they'll just, they'll give you answers. It might be a little bit weird to kind of dig in that deeply to someone's personal life, but we have to in order to really find out why they need it. And then once you transition from that into jumping into prices and such, after you really dig into their why, they're going to look at these numbers, if they're a little bit higher per month, as not like a higher bill, but just they're going to look at it as more coverage. They're going to look at it as they're protecting their family even more, which is what I've found to just kind of work 90% of the time, as long as you figure out it. But you do have to make sure it fits in their budget. You definitely need to break down their budget.
You don't want to make them insurance poor or anything like that. You still want them to live. The other thing that I've also came across, and I think you and I have talked about this, that a lot of people, I miss out on this I've been here for almost a year and a half now. I have missed out on this until I figured out about 2 months ago. When people pass away, as long as they have that spouse still remaining, those, they're losing that income, and they're looking at it. Say Mary's bringing in 4,000 and Bob's bringing in another 4,000. The mortgage is only 1,500. Yeah, because that's all we're going over. But if you dive a little bit more in depth and you look at those credit card bills, all that entire source of income that he has is gone. Yeah, they're married, so all of those bills are now on her. Yep. Like that credit card, that $600, $700, even $1,000 monthly bill, that's now on her. And that is stuff that we need to enlighten them with, that they might not know of. That mortgage is still there. Any student loans, all that's still there. Yeah. That doesn't go away. Now, when she passes, and both of them pass, yeah, different scenario. Like the credit card bills, the student loans, that's all evaporated. But the mortgage is still there as liability. But when that husband and wife are there, they might be bringing in a lot of money, and they might be able to protect the mortgage, their car. But when you really bring it out to the credit card bills, the stuff that they're all those pretty much bills, all that liability that they have, that's linked to both of them. Yeah. So when that one source of income, yeah.
And a lot of people they'll think, my income's 4,000, like you said, his is 4,000 too. If he passes, we still have that $4,000 income. Mm-hmm. But you guys used your dual income to pay all the bills. Your $4,000 that you make a month might have gone out. You might have $4,000 in bills a month. If he passes away and you lose 4,000, you're broke. You can't pay for anything.
Yeah, you almost put it into their eyes as actually you can't afford not to have at least something, whether it's the minimum whatever it is, just so that you can stay afloat, so you can breathe for a little bit of time until that mortgage sells. Because most likely, a lot of these people who we're meeting in front of, we try to take off as much of that mortgage, they're probably going to have to sell their house, because then they are going to realize, thank God I had enough in place so that I can breathe. I do have to refinance everything. Got to figure out, I've got to put the mortgage up, but they're not going homeless.
Yeah.
They're not losing their car. They're not getting their house taken away. They're not losing their bed, nothing like that. You're just giving them time to breathe.
Exactly.
I do think you do well with that. Even in the final expense, I know we're breaking down a mortgage, but like with final expense, what do you look at? Say the mortgage is, I'm sure you ran into it. Mortgage is taken care of. They're debt free. But
and at that point, I dig into, okay, you guys' mortgage is taken care of. This is going to be paid off. Now, what about funeral costs and things like that? Do you guys have, $20,000-$30,000 set aside at the moment, saved up in case something happens to you guys tomorrow? And 99% of the time they say, no, we haven't really thought about that. Or, we're young, we're not going to die for a while. And at that point, you just got to get serious and say, well, how do you know that? Like, how do you know you're not going to get a car accident? How do you know you're not going to have a heart attack, stroke, or something suddenly? Like, how do you know you're not going to pass away? I always make sure people know that it's not a question of like, if something happens, if you pass away, it's just when. Like, when something happens, are you guys covered? And then from that point, I just say, okay, the mortgage is taken care of, but we want to make sure you don't have to take extra money out of that policy, whether that be to pay for funeral things or final expenses, other bills, just to make sure that the mortgage is still actually going to be 100% paid off and they have extra to pay for these other things. Most people don't have 20, 30 grand set aside for a funeral and burial and things.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money. Also, whenever you're meeting with those individuals, I think a lot of clients that we meet with, they are looking at something of happening, like, it's going to be a heart attack they're going to survive, or they're going to have an illness that they can, kind of be an eye opener, wake up call. And then we're meeting with those individuals who say, yeah, I just had that heart attack. I'm in panic mode. Now they're in a 2-year wait, all this stuff. They got pacemakers, all that. I think a lot of times, I don't know if you're doing this or not, but a lot of times when people die, there's no warnings. They are healthy. They are as healthy as all get out. They have maybe a high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or diabetes, something very minimal. And then when they have that heart attack, it's not going to be like, while they're having that heart attack, like, let's apply for life insurance until we get to the hospital and get this in the books. Like, they could go in a minute. And that's it. And then it's all panicking. And I'm sure you've done with it. You have to meet with the wife. And I mean, how tough is that on them?
Yeah.
Just when you're breaking down their budget and now you see their credit card bills that they were left, $700 a month in credit card. Then they're in low income housing now, and life is flipped upside down. And I don't know about you, but I feel like I always get it where they're like, oh, well, if I would have met with someone earlier, I would have done this.
Yeah.
Because this makes so much sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously that's after the fact. But one of the bigger things, obviously, with all that aside, I just want you to run over on kind of this new, I know you're moving to North Carolina, and this happened pretty suddenly. But I just kind of want, and not everyone has to move. I mean, there's, we've still got plenty of leads and stuff to run around here. But what is the main purpose for you going to North Carolina for, since that's happened pretty suddenly?
So, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, you don't have to move to make this work at all. That wasn't my idea. I wasn't thinking like, oh my gosh, there's so much more available here and that kind of thing. It was more or less just the opportunity. I saw it and I acted on it as fast as I could, so no one else would. I literally just jumped on it before anyone else could. I mean, like, the lead flow down there is great. There's not a lot of people down there, like, agent wise, from what I've seen. And I mean, we have like what's called like a BPL sheet. Obviously, you know what that is, which is like the buy per lead mail sheet. Looked at that, ridiculous amount of stuff available. I pretty much just acted on the opportunity to go down there and grow something. Like I said, you don't really have to go anywhere to grow anything. You can do it wherever you are. It's just, I figured, if I want to make this as big as I possibly can, I might as well go someplace where I can kind of start from the ground and just build something huge, and have the lead flow for like new agents and have new people to bring on, new sources of like recruiting and new sources of talking to people. And I mean, I have always wanted to move south a little bit. I've been stuck in Wisconsin my whole life. So I mean, that was just another drive too, a little bit warmer weather, pretty safe.
I think it's awesome too, because that's pretty much what, just simplifying it. I know it's probably a little bit scary at the same point. I mean, how you're what, 21, 22?
21. Yeah.
21. Yeah. So that's awesome that you're going to do that. Just like branch out a little bit. But I remember that that's what exactly, I mean, you're just also kind of repeating exactly what Evan has done. You know,
Yep.
Evan, he stayed here in Wisconsin and he just locked down so much mortgage and so many counties for final expense, all that stuff. So that when he does grow, everyone he has he's planning ahead for the future. It's not just what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next month, just a lot like how we are pitching this to other individuals. Same with Tyler Sagal. I mean, he moved to Kansas City because he saw the exact same potential as what you're seeing. You know, no one was in Kansas City or anything.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's being a riot right now. But yeah, I know. I'm sure. Have you talked to Ty or even Austin? Because I know that Brent and Austin Takla, they had that conversation. Florida it's pretty. I don't want to say saturated for people who don't want to go there. You just got to work a little bit harder on those older leads that you're running, and you submit what you probably help 30 families a month, 30 to 40 families a month
average. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the same thing. And I feel like Austin was going through that Takla but all he did was reach out for help. And I don't think a lot of newer agents do that. I mean, we know why we're here is to help out other people. Other than like dropping off a death claim check to someone, that is very satisfying, but being able to see an agent come from, nothing or low income almost, and then be able to put real money in their bank account while they're be able to self-fulfill, the satisfaction of like, hey, I'm not selling something that no one needs.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than that. It's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Then I would probably reach out. I mean, you're crushing it, Peyton, but never hurts to reach out and ask Austin Takla. I don't know if you have his number or not, but I would recommend getting in touch with him just to see, what are the adjustments that he made. And obviously it's worth it. I can see a big smile on his face right now.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
That's obviously worth it for him. He's probably liked it. I know it's not as nice as being in Florida, but he's got Ty there as an awesome leader.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so when did this whole process start? Like, when did you figure out about this North Carolina thing?
Like, how quickly did it happen?
When was like this brought to your attention?
I think, well, it was brought to my attention when I was just kind of like literally scrolling through like the lead sheet one day, just kind of looking at availability in places.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, there's like a ton available here. Like, I wonder why that is. Looked into it. I actually talked to Brent about it and just asked him, and he just told me, there's just not a lot of agents out there right now. No one's gone out there and tried to do something big yet. And that was 3.5, 4 weeks ago, I think. And then I brought it up to you, my brother in the office. And then like 2 weeks later, I had already signed a lease and I was like, yep, I'm gone. So
I'm gone, right. And like, you're already selling your mattress and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it happened really fast, but I think it's just, I acted on the opportunity that I think's there and that I know is there. And I think I'm just going to do whatever I can to make it work.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, Peyton. I think we are, just so that we're getting close to that 25, 30 minutes. I know everyone's hammering the phones. Kayla, do you have a question? Alrighty then.
I'm on.
So,
no, sorry, I didn't know I was muted.
You're good. But yeah, we're just gonna wrap this up, guys. I appreciate you all getting on. But let's hit those phones hard and let's get to the 15, 16 appointments like we do. Part-time, I know, let's try to get to the 7 to 9 appointments for the one day that you're running, just to help out and just see the potential once you get into those first homes.
So I would say
it's very gratifying.
And hold on to is making sure that I'm just on the phone on time, making sure I'm getting those dials out. Also making sure you're doing enough dials. I think new agents give up too easy. I think once you start to dial the phone, if you're not getting the result that you expect or want, then sometimes you kind of call it a day early. So I think a non-negotiable is just making sure that you have a goal. If it's 12 appointments, even if you're just starting out and you got a goal of 10, just really make sure that you hit that goal and just stay at the office until you hit it. Yeah.
So if it's 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
We're done. Cut it off.
Darius, we're cutting this off. I do. If you have any questions or anything, you can either reach out to Evan, Ty, myself. I know Kiefer, anyone who you see on like the leaderboard who really is obviously crushing it. Give them a shout. I'm sure you can reach out to them in Discord also. But I appreciate this, guys. Thanks for the opportunity, guys, for letting me host. Get back down, boys and
You
girls.
guys